Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar this morning. Today, we're going to talk about Retirement Boss Radio. Great subject, especially right now. We've had really great experience with lead generation around Retirement Boss Radio. Obviously, a great way to build your brand in your area and establish yourself as a little bit above the uh, the masses in terms of quality of financial advice and information. So, Retirement Boss Radio is a product of Dave Pepper and Lazarus Coaching. He's done a great job putting that together. It's really great success over the last 3 or 4 years with that particular radio show. It's a full service, 360, 24/7, everything that you need to know about radio and how to do it, all the coaching that you need, even coaching on the subject matter. So, really, really great way to get into the radio business if that's something you have any interest in doing. Which, if you're trying to grow and increase your footprint in your area and uh, generate actual appointments. These are appointments set, not leads, but rather appointments set. 3, 4 a week on subject matter that you can work with folks and help grow their retirement goals and dreams. Retirement Boss Radio is a great way to do it. So, my name is Steve Murray. I'm the president here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I love the Retirement Boss Radio webinar because I think there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of upside for advisors that consider themselves maybe just a touch above in terms of experience and a touch above in terms of information and understanding and technically savvy. You can kind of display that really nicely on the radio and draw people to you, which is a great thing. So, looking forward to it today. We'll go through a couple things beforehand, like we always do. We've got a big group. We've got a number of folks that have been with us for a while. So, thank you all for tuning in. I think it's important to always be exploring new ideas. We've got a couple of folks that are brand new to us, so I'm going to run through some basic stuff for the whole group. If you have any questions, anything comes up, just go ahead and type yes or go ahead and type them in and hit send. We'll have a poll or two that will pop up, but we appreciate you answering those as quickly as possible as well. So let's go ahead and get started here this morning. But for those of you that are new to us, if you haven't been with us yet for 180 days or 6 months, there's still opportunity for you to, with your new production with us, there's still opportunity for you to earn various levels of gifts or giveaways designed to help you increase your production. And you can see those before you, the various levels that you can achieve and which you can get, including Retirement Boss Radio Assistance. But what I would say to you is if you are looking at those and you're thinking, gosh, I have something that I do already that if Himes would help me with, I could really take that off. We will consider that as well. It's just a matter of having a quick call between you and I or you and your sales director. So keep that in mind. And thank you for your business, whether you're just joining us or whether you've been with us for years and years. I want to thank you all aboard here for your business here with Himes. We appreciate it very much. Couple of things. We build our business likely the way that many of you do as well. A lot of our best relationships over the years have come from referrals from folks that know us and value what we've done for their business. So if you have a colleague that you think would take some value from, maybe it was one of our trainings or our incentives or service, second to none service that we have, or sales and marketing assistance, would sure love to meet them. If they get to where they're doing business with us, get licensed with us, we're going to send you a check for $50. But if they get to where they're doing business with us, then you get an ongoing bonus based on their business. It's kind of like a little small override without all the trouble that goes with overrides. You don't have to worry about chargebacks, for instance. But it's a great way to build kind of a second income for yourself if you know people that you think might benefit from our services. So we appreciate your referrals, and we bonus you for them as well. Marketing reimbursement is a simple program. You do business, money goes in your marketing account. You spend money to grow your business, and we match that spend dollar for dollar. So you can kind of double the value of your marketing when you do your business through IAMS. Great back office support. You can read some of the things that we hang our hat on around here. I always like to say that, in the realm of our competitors, if you were going to say, hey, what's IAMS the best at among our competitors, they would probably all agree that from the service aspect, from helping you through the process from application to, or even from the sales process and picking the right product for the right situation, getting through the application, getting that application through the system, and then getting yourself paid. We are on that, and going to help you every step of the way. In fact, you will consider it less probably helping you than kind of doing it for you, because you're going to just get regular updates on your business. So if you're not getting the type of service that you would hope and expect, if you're not getting somebody picking up your phone call within a couple of rings and answering your question right away, then I would suggest that maybe you look more closely at IAMS, because that's what we do. We are a live answer, ready to answer your questions right away. We've got people here dedicated to your success at all levels. Firelight is we got lucky here. We put this is a single sign-on for an e-application, and as you can imagine, during the pandemic, that became a real big deal. We had many of our agents convert to working from a e-app, because it was a great way to do business with a client when you couldn't get face to face with them. It's very professional, very thorough, very clear, and so a lot of guys kind of got hooked on that. As you can imagine, if you I think if you try Firelight, or if you have tried it, and the advantage of using our Firelight e-app solution is that most of the annuity carriers that we do business can be accessed through a single portal, through our portal at the IAMS.com website. So you don't have to go hunting and packing from website to website, depending on what company you're doing business with. Additionally, if you, let's say you're doing an application on the same client with a couple companies, instead of going from website to website, that's one advantage. But then you can also take that information within the Firelight and cut and paste it and move it over to the form, so you don't have to go through that all at once. And for whatever reason, and I know these things come up from time to time where we have to retake an app, it's nice to just come back to the portal, just do that cut and paste and go with it. So a lot of really great advantages to doing e-apps. You've got the right forms, you've got all the forms completed as thoroughly and correctly as you can, so it'll save a lot of time on getting that business through the pipeline. What we know is that business goes through about 20% faster when you use an e-app. That's just across the board. So if you're not using Firelight, you will like our Firelight system. Call up your sales director. They'll get you registered. It takes about 4 minutes to get you registered on the website and get you registered for that e-app solution. We'd love to help you with that. Before you on the screen right now, you see our creative marketing solutions. We've got a team, and I prefer for you to think of them as your advertising team, and your advertising team that does business with folks just like you across the country, kind of the same, a lot of the same methods and means and advertising that you would use. Others like you across the country are using as well, and they know all that, so they can customize it for you. They can get you some great ideas and growing your brand and image in your area, and we're going to do that for you when we can pro bono. We're going to use marketing reimbursement. We're going to do whatever we can to make it easy for you, because that is only great for you and for us. It gives you the opportunity to do more business, and when you're doing more business, that's good for us. So that is our goal, is to make you more successful. We've got a great advertising team at your beck and call. Again, call your sales director and let them walk you through what they can do for you. The website, obviously the Firelight's on there. If you have need of doing annuity quotes, you can kind of sort in, let's say that you're looking for the best 5-year MIGA in the state of Connecticut for an 82-year-old. You can go in and put all that information in. It'll sort it for you and give you the best choices. About anything that you can think of that you're looking for, you can sort through the annuity quote engine and do that. We also have a quote engine for term, some IUL products. We have our Medicare quoting tool on there. And besides that, we've got all the things that you would look for on a website normally, the things that can help you build sales and build your business. So I'd encourage you to take a good look at our website. Again, call your sales director and say, hey, this is what I do. This is what I'm looking for. Can your website help me with that? And they'll show you where. Retirement Analyzer is a great software product that we endorse. We pay the cost for our producers on it because we know it works. We've seen it work. We've seen it build regular relationships between the agents and their clients that have been productive over the years. So if you're not using something like the Retirement Analyzer, and there are many good programs out there like it, we endorse Retirement Analyzer because we think the input versus what you get out is easier. So you can put in a relatively a basic amount of information and get really solid input out. Obviously, the better you do on your input, the better your output. But you can see just before you on the screen kind of the look of it. It's color, it's very graphic in nature. It really helps people understand where there's shortfalls and where they might be long on some areas. Makes them, they matched up with their risk tolerance. Do they have enough life insurance? Do they need, what's their income look like? So it can really help you in working with your clients. And I suggest that if you're on with us today and maybe you want to get a closer look at the retirement analyzer, give Marcus a call and have him send you a link, and do one on yourself or do one of your A clients that you have a lot of the information on. See what the output looks like. I think you'd be pleased, and we do take care of your cost on that as long as you're doing business with us. And even if you're just getting rolling with us and haven't done any business yet, we'll give you a trial, look at it, and see if it's a good fit for you. So that's Marcus. I'll send you his email here shortly. But if you want retirement analyzers, that's a great thing to do. The IAMS Wealth Management is our RIA, and many of you I know are looking at getting your IAR. Maybe you already have it, and maybe you're happy with your RIA relationship. Maybe you're not. I'm going to put up just a quick poll on it, if you could. I think I have it. Maybe not. Oh, sure I do. Okay. I'm going to put up a quick poll here, and if you have interest in learning more about IAMS Wealth Management, and maybe, for instance, if you want to get your Series 65 and you need an assist there, they can help you with that. We've worked with folks from the insurance side. In fact, that's really been our primary area of growth, is working with our ladies and gentlemen on the insurance side and helping them to get their Series 65 and grow their business that way. Maybe you've got your IAR and you're not happy with your IA in terms of the service. Our service is second to none. We hear that over and over again. We really kind of carry the same service model and mantra from our insurance side over to the RIA, and that means your service is very good. The payouts, what I hear from our guys is that, and having looked a little bit across the industry, I mean, I knew that with our payout at just around 1%, a little bit better than 1% actually, that we were going to be a little bit above the average. But what I didn't understand initially was that though a lot of RIAs publish that 1% payout, a lot of times they apply a grid to it, like you get 90% of 1% or 80% or 70 or 60% of 1%. We do not have a grid. You're going to get that full, a little over 1% paid out to you. So our payouts are good, and our fees are very, very reasonable for what you get. I hear that over and over again. The fees are about what everybody else's are, but you get a lot more with IAMS. So these are all things I love to hear. I get great feedback from our guys. So if you're interested in hearing from the folks over at IAMS, well, simply put yes on that poll. I appreciate it too. If you're not interested, go ahead and put no. It is not for everybody. Everybody's not making that decision right now. And if you're not, or if you're happy with where you're at, just put no on the poll there. But I would ask you to do it relatively quickly, because I'm going to close that poll out here in 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to close that out. If for whatever reason you're unable to vote and you have a question or you want to vote, give me a buzz here at the office at 800-255-5055. I want to make sure too that you're all aware of our Top Producer Summit. It's really going to be the best one that we've ever done. We're getting a beautiful cruise. Starts in Rome, going to go down the coast of Italy and come back up through Croatia, Montenegro, Greece, and we're going to end back up in Venice, Italy. So it's a nice 8-night adventure, 8-day adventure actually. I think it's 7 nights, and it'll start in Rome, go to Venice, Italy, and it's going to be all of our guests are going to enjoy concierge level. So everybody's going to have a balcony. Everybody's going to have 24/7 access to the food and drink that they would like. As with any cruise, I think you're going to find that all of your needs aboard ship are going to be taken care of, but with, I think, unusual for cruises. I mean, this one kind of hugs some coastlines. There'll be a lot of beautiful things to see all the way from the start to the finish as you're looking out your balcony and kind of checking out the countryside. So we'd love to have you and your guests join us. It takes 4.5 million of annuity premium to qualify. That's actually, we say 4.5 million points. You get 1 point for every dollar of annuity. You get about 11.5 points for every dollar of target premium. You get about 1.5 points for every dollar of single premium. And then all your business whiz, no matter what you're doing, whether it's med sup or whatever, everything accumulates. It gives you some points towards qualification for that event. It's an 18-month qualification. We're now down to 15 months. It only takes 4.5 million. So if you're looking around the industry and you're saying, hey, who else is offering a cruise? And if I do 4.5 million of annuity premium, I'm going to be able to go on a cruise like that over 18 months or now over 15 months. So it's a really great deal, very, very attainable. We'd love to have you join us. Not only would we love to have you join us on our cruise, but we'd also like you to like us and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn. You're going to get some stuff there when you follow us and like us that you'll get nowhere else. Some of our marketing materials and things like that. So if you would follow us and like us, I think you'll be happy with the results there, and you'll see what we do, and you'll grab a hold of some stuff maybe that can help your business. We'd love to have you do that. Now we're going to get started with Retirement Boss Radio. We're going to talk to the boss, Dave Pimper. Dave is joining us, and he's going to go through kind of his success. To give you some background on Dave, he's been in the business since the early 80s, probably about 25 plus years of experience in radio, whether it's 30-second spots, afternoon, market report, or radio show, half-hour, an hour radio show. He has pretty much done it all on the radio. Retirement Boss Radio is an hour, generally speaking. I think we do have a couple folks that do a half hour, but generally speaking, you're doing an hour a week of radio time. And what Dave will tell you is right now, he's having better luck generating appointments there than he's ever had before. And of course, some of that is because there are less seminars. There's many fewer ways right now for people to be touched and learn about the things that they want to learn about. And I'm guessing that some of it's just because in general, our guys have been doing it now for 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 months, or in Dave's case, 2 or 3 years. And so people get used to it, and they're more responsive. And remember, we are generating appointments here. So during the course of the radio show, you're given about 3 or 4 options to call in. And actually, when they call in, they're calling to set up an appointment. And they're going to have an appointment with you. And Dave will tell you that they're pretty sticky appointments and they're relatively high quality. Beyond that, Retirement Boss Radio is a great way to build your image. And so we'll talk about that with a very experienced and accomplished Mr. Dave Pimper, president of Lazarus Coaching.
What a build-up. My gosh, Steve, you're in a good mood today.
I'm always in a good mood, Dave.
Yeah, I know you are. Hey, Dave Pimper, nice to meet everybody. Got a good amount of folks on that want to learn about radio today, so that's great. No doubt summer has broke here, even though it may still be the end of spring. I guess in about maybe a couple of weeks it'll actually be summer will start, but it's supposed to be 95 degrees today in big old Fremont, Omaha, Nebraska. So I want to talk to you about being your own radio host. A lot of people think that's beyond their reach, and I will tell you right now, it could be. I mean, if you can't afford $3,500 or $4,000 a month, that's normally in the neighborhood $3,500 to $4,500 a month. But to get on the radio for an hour every single week, hearing your name, listening to what you do. I mean, just last week alone, I had 3 appointments that tipped the scale at right towards 1 million. Will I get every one of those? No. I closed one last week though from Retirement Boss Radio for about, it was not a bigger deal, 150,000, but that's still $6,000 or $7,000 worth of commission, which pays for a couple months worth of radio just from that one sale. So I've had very good luck in radio, and other people have also using this program. It's a turnkey system, and I think that's very, very important because you shouldn't have to go and try to create your own wheel on this. Now, this is going to be a short webinar. This is about 20 minutes long. But you may ask yourself, why radio? And I will say this first. The majority of people never look at radio because, first of all, they think it costs too much, and they have no idea how everything fits together. Buying the radio time, having a production company, getting it to the radio stations, having a co-host if it's recorded, which ours is, then having a live inbound call center, setting up the appointments, how to go on in with your calendar and the call center rep, so it coincides, and they can actually they set the appointments on our calendar. We do it through an electronic calendar, which is pretty darn cool. Radio is a hot topic, especially from the pandemic, I mean, tons of people listen to radio. In fact, 93% of all adults with household income with 75,000 and over, they listen to radio on an average of 12 hours a week. 12 hours. And I hope maybe 20, 30 minutes of that is Retirement Boss Radio. That is a trademark name. Also is the slogan, take charge of your money. And we really say you take charge of your money. That's what we help them do. But radio reaches more people than any other platform, more than your smartphone or more than your personal computer, believe it or not. Median age is 61. I work with people normally from 55 to 70, that pre-retired or just retired. Perfect age group that listens to kind of talk radio. Really solidifies you as an expert. I do a lot of seminars. I just did a seminar 3 weeks ago, got 10 appointments from it, a Social Security seminar. But I will say this, seminars, that isn't, you only talk to maybe 10, 15 people at a time. Radio, there are could be thousands of people listening to you at any given time. And news talk radio, it's hot. I mean, it's a big market share right now of the industry. Now, Rush Limbaugh is deceased. There's still the Rush Limbaugh show, so he was the big Kahana. Glenn Beck and Commando Dave Ramsey, Rick Edelman. I mean, all of those people do a national syndicated show. They do it because they're making money. They're selling advertising. We're selling product. We're really selling the appointment, which in turn we can help them with the financial strategy. Now, I will say this, and I'm going to kind of just breeze through this, but to give you an idea of how Retirement Boss Radio, I set this up about 3 years ago. I had done a live radio show at a news station from 7:15 in the morning till 8 o'clock every Saturday morning. I did it for 11 years, and I bet I only missed 10 times in 11 years because all of our vacations were taken. I'd get done with the radio program, and off I'd go on my vacation. I had very few guests, but that was a live show. This is a recorded show. The difference in that first show I had, I was trying to get well known in the town that I was. This is to set appointments, period. And I know in our business, the more people you talk to, the more people you're face to face with, the, the more you're going to write, the more business you're going to produce. So here's the turnkey. If you live in an area 100,000 population or more, pretty tough to have this work with less than 100,000 population base. I will say that. You can do it, but it just you got to have enough ears listening to your program. So 100,000 or more population base. We find which we think is the first, second, or third top AM talk station in that area, in that locale. And the media buyer, the radio buyer we have is fabulous at what he does. He has over 400 weekly shows going on right now. 400. And yours could be one of them. Mine is one of them. Okay. My show happens to be on Sunday at 12 o'clock. The prime time for radio is Saturday from 7 a.m. in the morning till around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and on Sunday from 8 o'clock until 2. I have a 12 o'clock Sunday show. Had a chance to go on Saturday, but I've had so much success on Sunday, I've just not messed with it. Okay? So that media buyer, he's familiar with all the major markets. He knows the majority of the owners or the sales managers. He can make a much better deal than you can make yourself. I'm going to tell you that. You go down there and ask for an hour of radio time, it's going to be much, much, much more than when this guy who knows every in and out of how to buy radio time, okay? The second thing is you've got to find radio is like real estate. Location, location, location. With a radio um, um, station, you have to find the right station at the right time slot at the right price. Yeah. All three of those have to come into play to make it favorable for yourself. And so that's what he goes out and tries to do. Most of the times he can, but sometimes he can't. Okay. And then the third thing, after once you buy the media buyer buys that radio time and knows that it's available, then the show is recorded, and it's a recorded show. We record, even though it's an hour show, we record a half an hour, and we come back on a second show from earlier for the second part of that show. Saves us about $1,000 in production cost, which is key to a lot of people. And most people don't listen to a full hour. They listen for 15, 20 minutes at a time. And that's why we say our phone number so many times, throughout the presentation. So then it goes to the production company. They supply the co-host. Guy's very knowledgeable when it comes to financial services. The co-host, and he's kind of the color guy. You're the main guy or main gal, and then it goes back and forth with the color guy. And they also, because it's recorded, he can edit it and mix it, take out the bloopers, patch it. You can just disregard areas if you don't want to use that. They put the ads in it promoting yourself and your firm and the show, and then they get a final proof on it. They take that, and then they get it to the radio station on time. Whenever your show is, they'll have it there before that. So production company is key. The second thing or third thing is when people call in, it's a recorded show. So we give an offer 4 times an hour. Every 15 minutes, there's an offer. If you call in the next 15 minutes, the next 5 callers, if you call with, before the show ends, I mean, there's some kind of limitation to it, but they get a lot of, they get services from us, some free services from us. And what happens is that when they call in, they think they're calling in the show, but what they're really doing is they're calling into a third-party outside inbound call center. And that call center, that was hard for me to find. The other parts were not easy, but easier. But finding a high-end, high-touch, reasonably priced call center was hard to do. But we found one, and they're very, very good. Not perfect, but very, very good at what they do. And their entire goal is to set the appointment. It's not to mail out information. It's not to get information from them. It's to get an appointment on our calendar. This is electronic calendar. And then there's myself. About a third of our business in appointments come in, albeit Social Security. So if you don't know Social Security, this is your way to learn. I coach you up 3 sessions on Social Security claiming. If you don't know it, if you do know it, then we don't go through it. But most advisors don't, or they want to brush up on it. And then we coach 2 sessions on Retirement Boss Radio. 2 specific sessions there. We coach of kind of what to expect. We work on the show notes. We go in and we role play, and there are show notes that we get. I actually get them from the production company, and then I redo them. I kind of classify them. I bullet point them. I change some stuff, and those are. This is kind of a bit of a living document. You can certainly go in and, if you have more of an expertise, like I'm working right now, a guy out in the West Coast, a big city, he's strictly insurance, so he wants to, lean more towards the fixed indexed annuity or long-term care, capital preservation. Yeah. So add those to the show notes. A lot of our show notes have very kind of general. In fact, this last one that I did, it talked about, 9 key ages of why it's important. It started out like once you turn 50. What's important about that? Well, for Social Security disability, that kicks in. How about 60? That's when widow's benefits, or if you can first take, for Social Security. How about 62? That's the first benefits that you can take when you're, for individual benefits, Social Security. How about, and then 65? That's when Medicare. You've got to take Medicare unless you're working for a 20 or more healthcare provider, for plan. I mean, on and on and on. So we did a show on that. That was kind of fun. It was kind of a fun show. But most of our topics, are kind of general in nature around financial planning. They really put us out in the front line as being the absolute expert. If you have any questions, type them on in, and I will certainly answer those for you. So it's a turnkey system, no doubt about it. We get leads like this one came from KFAB, which is my main radio station, turning 59 soon, hasn't settled on someone yet. He has a 401k that is seven figured. Had a question about Social Security. Yeah, he had almost $1 million in his 401k. But at www.retirementbossradio.com, www.retirementbossradio.com, that is our website. There's a white paper you can download there. You can listen to some podcasts. Pretty cool. And I will say that will give you an idea of kind of what we do. Cost, yeah, and I want to turn this over to Steve Murray here in a second. But the cost on this, I mean, you're talking, give or take, but anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 on the low end to maybe 4,500 on the high end, depending on the city. If it's a huge city, of course, it's going to be more than that, but it's reasonable. It's not much more than what seminar marketing is. Locations are available, not all, but we have a lot of locations available. I train you up. I coach you. It isn't just, hey, go get them. Here's your show notes. Go get them. No, we really coach you through it, and we coach you Social Security also if you don't know it, because a lot of information comes in from Social Security. It's called Studio in a Box. Costs about $225. You buy it from Amazon. Your mic, your headphones, um, a windshield, a little foam box to record your microphone in. That makes it sound like you're in a full blown studio. But I explain kind of how everything works together. It sounds so complicated, but in the end, it's like I remember when my mom used to bake a cake when I was a kid. I just couldn't understand all the ingredients and everything you had to do, but the end result was great. Well, the end result here is good, and that's what we're trying to do. Okay, so Al Jolson, he's an old actor that's of course deceased now from the kind of the late silent movies and early talkies. He said, I like new radio just like pictures leave the imperfect stuff on the cutting room floor. Well, you know what? You can here. All of your mistakes can go in and we just delete them. What we're going to do is we're going to put up a slide. And on this slide is going to go in and have whether you want an appointment on the phone with myself to talk about radio marketing or any other kind of marketing for that matter, or not. There's an old saying that says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Tomorrow never comes, does it? Tomorrow never does come. Don't let that happen to you. If you heard something today and you said, you know what, let's take a look. Let's see, maybe, because we're doing a lot of business from radio right now, and it's a neat program. It's turnkey. So, Steve, if you can put up the poll, that would be great. And the poll off is yes, I'd like to have a consultation, or no, I would not. And Steve, he may be just off site real quick, so I will go in. He's be putting up that poll here any second now. But what I wanted to say, and I'm going to answer some questions. The first question is, does that $4,000 cost is there any extra cost not incurred by that? And there really is not. The cost of the program, the big cost is the radio cost. To buy that hour radio time, that's probably three-quarters of your cost. You've got a cost for the production company and a cost for the uh, for the call center. But normally, 3,500, 4,500 in that neighborhood is where those costs are going to be. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. Here's another question. I'm going to kind of add this. Um, yeah, so they want to know how much coaching they get when it comes to Retirement Boss Radio. The coaching comes from myself, not one of my associates. It's one-on-one on the phone. We do a lot through PowerPoint, and you get attachments from me. And what my entire goal is to really let you understand radio, really understand the process, telling you what in the past has worked and what does not work. There's other FMOs, not a lot. Not a lot of people have a full-blown turnkey radio program. Not a lot of field marketing organizations. IAMS is one. But one of the things here is that you're kind of treated with kid gloves. I mean, you've got a big investment, month to month, big investment. We're doing everything we can to get you in front of appointments. Period. That that's what we're trying to do. Here's another one. They want to know if San Antonio, Texas is open, and it is. It is open. Some cities are not. And just to talk about that again, if you're in a town or an area that has under 100,000, and Steve, we'll go up to the poll questions. I'm just doing some the poll question. I'm just doing some questions that came on up. What happens under 100,000 is it's just tough to make this work if the population is under 100,000. There's just not enough people listening. I need thousands of people listening, to get those, 2, 3, 4, 5 appointments a week. That's what we need. So this is the question. Would you like any information on products discussed today, which of course is Retirement Boss Radio? So if you mark yes, then David Corwin's going to give you a call. And please take the call. If you mark yes, take the call. If not, mark no. And then you know what? Then he will not call. But if you mark yes, he's going to call and set up at a time that's good for our calendar and your calendar for 20 minutes. 20 minutes to kind of find out the ins and outs of how radio marketing, being a radio show host, could help you. So, Steve, I know there's other questions. Went through a few of them, but I'll just kind of jump the platform over to yourself.
Great. Thank you, Dave. Good stuff as always. Always enjoy hearing what you have to say, and especially pleased to get an idea of what your results have been. I mentioned some things about that early on to the group, but I think it's impressive what has happened. We didn't talk too much about the image building and how that grows. I've seen that one-on-one myself, and spending some time with you and areas, like your golf club, and
Yep.
people recognize you. That makes a big difference. They know
Yep.
what you do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Nice thing. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, Steve, I think and I get a kick out of this. So Tony, who actually Charles knows, that it was an old club that he used to. Tony is the head pro at our club, and I saw him I gotta think what day it was. Saw him on Sunday. We had a big tournament out here. I mean, I didn't play in it, but I went and drove around and rode around and watched some of the good players play. And he said, "Yeah, driving in today, I was listening to you on the radio." Yeah,
It's magic.
and I joked, but yeah, you're right. It does. It builds an image. It builds a brand. People who are on radio and television, in this case radio, maybe it shouldn't be, but they put you on a pedestal as far as, boy, that's the
Yeah.
guy, that's him, that's the one who's on radio, and that never hurts when it comes to kind of building that trust and doing business.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Talk a little bit about, Dave, if the time that you have to spend recording your show. I've got a question from Johnson, and his question, he talks about what's the time commitment, and I don't know if he's talking just about the recording or about the, learning a little bit about what you need to, whether it's
Yeah.
Social Security, whatever. So talk a little bit about first how much time you spend recording.
Okay. Well, I will say this, uh, going back from just the training, if you don't know Social Security and you're working the pre-retired or retired crowd, well, you should, because it's usually the biggest source of income, one source of income. So I coach you up on Social Security. There's 3 sessions there that we coach you up on. It's all part of the system. Second thing is when people get the show notes, some people don't review them at all. They don't look at them. They don't review them. They don't familiarize themselves with it. It's a mistake. You need to spend 30, 35, 40 minutes every week because you're paying. I mean, you're paying thousands of dollars a month to go in and have this radio show. You want it to be the very best you can. So there's also time put into that. Okay. And then the actual recording's fast. You know what I mean? It's a 30-minute show. Um, I recorded on Monday. I'm always done at 20. I start at 8 o'clock and I'm done at 20 to 9. I just shut my door, put a sign up, say, recording, do not disturb. Take my studio on the box equipment out, and I just record from my desk. And it sounds just as if I'm in the studio with them. That's how it sounds. We do through couldn't do it 10 years ago, but now they do it through a software, expensive software, but we give that software to you so it enables you to hook up off site, with the co-host. So, um, I actually had, Steve, and I didn't. I'm going to do this real quick. A person asked, how I get paid. I'm a coach. How do I get paid? Well, I coach a la carte for X amount of fee, but during this Retirement Boss Radio, anything that I'm paid, which is a stipend, it's paid by IAMS. It comes out of their profit. It has nothing to do with your hierarchy, your production. I mean, I don't even know what your production is. I hope it's a lot and a lot more once you're on Retirement Boss Radio. But IAMS does pay me to coach, so it doesn't cost you a thing. And they know that with coaching, we found that out years ago that you take a program without coaching, it normally isn't nearly as effective as someone like myself who can coach you through, answer questions, mentor you, but really day to day walk, hold your hand and get you off on that real good step. No difference in little kid with the bicycle. I mean, mom and dad's run alongside, they hold the bike, and then boom, let go, and off they go. And I don't want you to crash. I want you to go faster and faster and have a great scenic ride that makes you lots of money.
Absolutely. Good. You did answer a couple other questions kind of on your own. I appreciate that,
Good.
Dave.
Good.
I'm just looking. I don't see that we have any other questions. Is there anything that you want to add as we close up here?
Don't be afraid of radio. And you know what? Be afraid of doing a 30-second ad and a 60-second ad. I'll tell you, I've done hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of those ads to no avail. I mean, just brought in very little. But hosting a show, I'm telling you,
Whole
big,
different deal.
big deal. You got their attention for an hour. Or there are a couple we have for a half an hour just because we couldn't get an hour. I like an hour better, but for a half an hour, but that's a big difference. So if you can imagine yourself having a lot more appointments from a marketing system, yeah, mark yes on this. We'll talk. We'll see what happens and see if there's something available in your area. But answer all your questions. That's what we really want to do for you: is educate you up so you can make the right decision on your marketing efforts going forward.
Perfect. And Dave, you mentioned earlier that Dave Corwood was going to call. Dave's actually out. He got married on Saturday, so he'll be out
Oh,
this
you're
week.
right. You're right.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
did
yeah.
get married. Yeah, good for Dave. I heard that.
Good
So
for him. Yeah.
so yeah, one of our other marketers
It'll
will
be
be
Scott.
calling him.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
have
Scott.
Scott. Yep.
Yeah, Scott.
So
Scott will call you probably right after. Could even be today, but yeah, take the call from Scott. Scott from IAMS, and we'll get this lined up for the appointment time.
you betcha. It'll be great. Great opportunity for you. Um, as we get through the summer and get into the fall, I think annuity sales are going to heat up and go through the roof. I did have a question about whether you need to have a securities license. The answer is no. We have both guys that are securities and insurance licensed,
Mhm.
and some that are just insurance licensed. So it works either way. A little bit of difference in how you might present a few things, but not a whole lot really. So opportunities all up and down. Yeah, we'd love to help you. Thanks for tuning in on a Tuesday. It's been a great start to the year in our business and we have you to thank for that. And I think when you look around, you see that opportunity is only growing. Interest rates are going up a little bit. I think that, market has people looking more at, where we might find some safety here over the coming months. Taxes probably going to go up. So tax deferral, tax preferred savings opportunities are going to get big. And that's exactly what you do. So we'd love to help you with that. Whatever we can do to help you grow your business, give us a call here at the office. It's 800-255-5055. It's our number. My name is Steve Murray, but you call myself or any one of our annuity sales directors, and we'll get you up and ready to go. Get you in touch with Dave and see if we can get you to be one of the most famous financial advisors in your area. Thanks for
That's
joining us
exactly
today.
right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good week. Bye bye.